There's a town in America that looks like 100 others. One main road, a diner that closes early, kids waiting for the school bus as the sun comes up. If you drove through it, you wouldn't slow down. And that's the point. Because for decades, this town helped run one of the most secretive intelligence operations in modern history, and almost nobody who lived there knew it. Not even the people doing the work. We didn't start this investigation looking for a town. We started with a shipping label. It was attached to a broken piece of electronics sold at a surplus auction. No logo, no return address, just a string of numbers and a post office box that, according to public records, didn't exist. Except it did, and it led here. In the late Cold War, the CIA had a problem. Spies needed equipment, radios, tracking devices, encrypted transmitters, but manufacturing them in obvious government facilities made them easy to trace. Anything stamped "made for the CIA" might as well have said, "arrest me." So the agency did something smarter, something quieter. They built their supply chain inside ordinary America. This town became one small piece of it. At first, it was just jobs. A factory opened in the 1970s, promising stable work assembling industrial communication components. The pay was decent, the benefits were good, and the instructions were strange. Workers were trained to build parts they were never allowed to see fully assembled. One woman we spoke to spent 12 years soldering the same 3 wires over and over again without ever knowing what the device did. If she asked questions, her supervisor would smile and say, "You don't need to know." And she didn't, until years later. The factory enforced rules no one could quite explain. No windows on the production floor, background checks before background checks were normal, and sometimes men in suits who weren't from the company would walk through silently, clipboards in hand, never introducing themselves. People assumed it was military, or defense contractors, or something related to satellites. Nobody said the CIA out loud. The town prospered. Homes were built, kids went to college, the diner stayed busy. And all the while, components built here were quietly shipped overseas, ending up in embassies, safe houses, and covert operations across the world. Radios used by agents behind enemy lines, beacons dropped in hostile territory, devices that helped people escape, and devices that helped people disappear. The secret only began to unravel after the Cold War ended. Funding shifted, contracts dried up, the factory closed almost overnight. And then, years later, a single document was declassified. Buried in thousands of pages was a reference to a distributed civilian manufacturing node, identified only by a numerical code. That code matched the shipping label. When we showed this to former workers, the reaction wasn't shock, it was grief. One man told us he'd spent his life believing he made something meaningless, small parts, disposable things. Learning the truth didn't make him proud, it made him uneasy. Because suddenly, he wondered where those devices went, who used them, and what happened to the people on the other end. Experts told us this strategy was intentional. Compartmentalization, plausible deniability. If workers didn't know, they couldn't talk, and if something went wrong, there was no obvious trail back to Langley. It was secrecy, perfected. Today, the factory is abandoned. The sign is gone. Weeds push through cracked concrete where security guards once stood. Most people in town still don't know the full story, and some who do would rather forget it. Because it's unsettling to realize that history doesn't just happen in capitals or war zones. Sometimes it happens in places like this, built quietly, piece by people who thought they were just doing a job. This town never appeared on a map of the Cold War, but it helped shape it. And the most unsettling part isn't that the CIA hid here, it's that they could do it all, hiding something so vast inside something so ordinary. And if it happened here once, it can happen again.